right. Are we live? I think we are live. Trying it out again. Was having issues with the live stream machine. It was just producing not what I needed to be producing for this. Let's start the credits out. Let's give it a few. Appreciation to Nick for the last live stream. He was a top chatter. Thank you so much. All right, so let's start. Welcome back, guys, to the server room. Hopefully you are able to hear me. If you are here watching me, hopefully you're able to send a quick chat. Let me know that you are able to hear me and see me with no problem. You saw the title of today's video: get members from AD security group using PowerShell. This is one of the things that is constantly being asked all the time. You know, a security group in AD, who are the members? And if you have like thousands and thousands of members on a particular AD security group, and someone's asking you who's in it, you're able to just double click on the AD group and find the person and tell whoever. But let's say they want a list of everyone, so I'm going to show you guys how to do that within AD. Super easy. So let's get right into it. All right, so let's switch it to the desktop. Today I actually got the light off because it's kind of warm in the room. HVAC system, AC unit is not working, so I gotta turn off all the lights to make sure I keep myself nice and cool. So I'm doing everything within PC01. Let's go inside the domain controller. Actually, let's not go inside the domain controller. Let's open up my Microsoft management console, which has my Active Directory plugin. Cool. Let's expand Active Directory users and computers. I'm going to expand my domain controller. I'm going to expand BTNHD, my OU, and within here, let's go inside groups. So for example, let's say superheroes, right? And someone comes to you and say, hey Bernardo, I need a list of all the members within superheroes security group. Yeah, you're able to see. This example is the worst one because I only have 4 users. This is pretty easy. I could open up a spreadsheet, type it in, and you're done. But let's say you had about 1,000 users in here, and you don't want to open up a spreadsheet and start typing 1,000 users to produce or give this spreadsheet to whoever's asking for it, right? So PowerShell is the way to go. So I'm going to show you guys how to do it in PowerShell. And this is one of the things that is constantly asked from me anywhere. Doesn't matter where I'm at. Bernardo, who's in this group? I need a list, blah, blah, blah. I'm going to show you a couple of ways. I'm going to show you how to produce the information and then also export it out to a spreadsheet. So I'm going to minimize this. Let's click on start. And from start, I am going to do ISE. Type that in. I like to right click on it. You are able to go here and just run it as an administrator. I'm so used to just right clicking on stuff and just run as an administrator. Like, it is super warm here. If you guys do hear, like background noise, and that's because, you know, the HVAC is working, but for some reason it's blowing hot air. It's driving me nuts. Staying cool, staying positive, right? Let's click yes here for the user account control. I like using PowerShell ISE because it gives you a nice notepad section here, and you're able to see the command prompt and below. Just like doing this. So let me adjust myself so I'm able to see the desktop and also my notes because I forget things. So the first thing that we are going to do is we are going to import a module. And because we are using Active Directory, what module you think we're going to import? Yes, Active Directory. So let's import Active Directory. And sometimes you don't need to import Active Directory, but I like to do it anyway. So I'm just going to run it. Boom, done. It's imported. Awesome. Now on the second line, I love creating variables. That's my thing. You are able to do it different ways. This could probably be a one-liner, but I'm gonna break it down this way so you guys can actually understand it. And I will provide the PowerShell script that, you know, all the commands that I've been doing here, I'm going to provide it in my GitHub, and hopefully if I remember, this old brain kind of sometimes forgets, I'll post it up and leave it at the comment sections for you guys. So let's do a $, and we're going to call this group name, and we're going to do equal open and close quotations, and inside here we're going to provide our group name. Now for our example, let's just make it super easy. It's going to be superheroes, and you want to actually use the group name, the pre-Windows 2000 group name. So I'm going to do a Control-C to copy that. Let's get that. Let's get out of there, and let's do a Control-V. V as in Victor, to paste it. So this is the group name that I want to retrieve the members from. Yes, I only have 4 of them. I'm able to open up a spreadsheet and just type them in. But imagine, hypothetically, imagine this group had 1,000, 2,000 members in it. You're not gonna type in all those members, right? Right? Who's gonna do that? You know, you are able to milk the clock milk the clock and kill time if you don't really have a lot of stuff to do at the job, but I don't really like doing that. I like to do things quick. So we declared a group name or variable called group name. Let's declare another variable, and we're going to do group, and you're able to change these variables to whatever you want. Let's do group members. Hopefully I spelled that right. Awesome. Equals to. So this is where you are actually able to grab the members from your group, and this is the command that you're going to use. We're actually going to use an AD commandlet, and if you see my eyes moving this way, because I want to make sure I don't get any drop frames, because when I first started about an hour ago, it was completely like 0 kilobits per second. It was like dead. But back to this. So from here, we're going to use an AD commandlet, and we're going to use get AD group. Cool thing about PowerShell ISE is it gives you this nice little tooltip, and you're able to just hit the directional key down, select where you want, hit enter, and it will autofill for you. So this is the command that we're going to use, and this command actually lives within the Active Directory module. We're going to use a switch, and the switch is going to be ID or identity. You're actually able to just use ID by itself, but I'm going to hit the tab key, and I'm going to auto complete that. And the identity is going to be what? The security group that we want to get the members from. And because we declared a variable within line number 3, all we have to do is this. Call out our variable. Done. Now you are able to just run this command, and it will give you your groups, and you're done. That's it. But I'm going to show you what happens if you just run that command. So I'm going to put the cursor on line at the end of line 3. This will hold the whatever we assign to group name, and if we just highlight this and we just run it, okay, you just saw what just happened. So let me do this. Let me do not that. Boop, 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 boop. Okay, let me just bring this up. So what happens is, yes, it does give you all the members, but it gives you additional stuff, and you are able to pipe it, you know. You're able to give it a pipe and do select dash object, and then select what objects you want to produce. You're able to do that if you want, and it will give you only the names. You know, you're able to go in here. I think if you do a pipe and you do a select object, this is a super one, and then I think you just do name, and you run this only. Let's click, you know, clear the console downstairs, and if we just run this line, it should just give you the name, and you're done. But that's one way you're able to accomplish this. I am very complicated sometimes when it comes down to scripting. I like to do the following, and this is the way that I like to display it. Again, the way that we just piped it with the select object and the name, That's it. You got it. Plain and simple. And then you're able to do another pipe to do like an export to CSV, and then you give it your path for where you want to export your CSV, and then you're good to go. But if you want to learn and continue learning a little bit more with PowerShell, this is how you will learn, because then you get yourself accustomed with other ways to, you know, do things. I like to use a for each, right? And let's do open and close parentheses. And inside the open and close parentheses, let's create a container or a placeholder, and we're going to call it member. In $, and it's going to be group members. Okay. So whoever's inside group members is going to be dropped into member. Okay. So I'm going to do a wiggly bracket. Let's hit enter here, and let's do a tab. And from here, you're able to do a right host. You're probably saying, like, Bernardo, why are you doing all this? This is so complicated. The way that you just showed this is simple, it's easy, it's quick. Just do it that way. Hey, I'm a complicated person, and I like doing this because, I don't know, I feel like I'm learning a little bit more about PowerShell rather than doing these one-liners. I just like doing it this way. Okay. From here, we're going to do a $, and we're actually going to call member. Now, within member, this is where you are actually going to define what you want to do. Now, if you remember, we did a pipe select dash object, and we gave it name because that's all we want it to do. The same thing here. We're going to do a dot, and we're actually going to do name because that's what we want to produce. We're going to hit enter, and from here, I am going to close the wiggly brackets. So I'm going to put my cursor at the end of line 3. Again, even though behind the scenes in memory, line 3 is already in there, we're going to run line 5. Now we have group name and group members within memory. And if we select 7 to 9 and we run this, boom, it gives you that. Awesome. We're going to wipe it up again. I'm going to wipe clear. I'm going to clear downstairs, and let's run these commands again. And it gives you the names. Let me zoom in real quick. It gives you names. It produces the same thing that we did before. Okay. The only difference between the select dash object, it actually gives you a header at the top that says name, but it's the same concept. Pretty simple. And again, you're probably saying to yourself, like, Bernardo, why did you do all that? Why? You could have basically just did the pipe like we did the select object and whatever object you want to select, and just highlight, and you're freaking done. So yeah, same process, same concept. I just like, I don't know, I'm weird like that, you know. I apologize for that, but I am very weird. But there's so many different ways to actually do these things. But let's say you want to push it out to a spreadsheet. You are able to push it out to a CSV file. I think comma separated values, that's what it stands for. And then open up the spreadsheet. I've been using the import Excel module. I've been liking that a lot because I actually export it to a spreadsheet with the extension of XLSX, and you're able to open it up and, you know, bam, make the modifications. So I've been liking that a lot. So what we're going to do, let's go back inside PowerShell, and within PowerShell, this is one of the things that I've been also practicing and doing as well. I learned this is doing an if statement to see whether or not the module is actually installed. If it's not installed, if the module is not installed, it will install it, and then you're able to continue. So this is what I'm going to, we could actually build from this, or we could create another one. So I'm going to actually open up a new file. Oh, you're not seeing it, my bad. We are able to actually build from this, or I'm going to create a new file, which I just did. And this is what I've been doing, and I think this is pretty cool. So you are able to do the first two lines, if, open parentheses, you're going to do an exclamation point, open parentheses. If this is not here install this. So, and this is a pretty cool way to actually get your modules up and running if you don't have the module on the machine. So if bang exclamation point open parentheses, we're going to get module, right? We're going to do a switch of list available. We're going to do another switch of name and name, import Excel. Awesome. Close the parentheses of this right here, and then we're going to do another close the parentheses to actually close everything out. We're going to do a wiggly bracket because this is an if statement. We're going to hit enter, and we're going to hit the tab. So what's happening here? If this module and the name of the module is import Excel is not in your workstation or your machine, if it's not there, install it. So this is where we do the install, and we're going to do install module. We're going to do the switch of name and import Excel. We're going to do a scope, and the scope is going to be the current user. And let's also do another switch of force. We're going to hit enter, and let's close it. Let's backspace and then close it. All right. So this right here is a pretty cool. I like this a lot. I've been doing this a lot lately. If this module, right, this is the module. If this module is not installed, you know what? Install it. Boom. I've been enjoying this a lot. So let's select 3 to 1 or 1 to 3 and just run it. Boom. Now I already have this module already installed, so I didn't get the whole installing module right here, which is typically what you will see when you install the module. You will see like the progress bar, and then it stops and it hangs, and it drives me crazy at times because I'm like, come on, install, and then eventually when you walk away and you come back, the progress bar has disappeared, and then you're able to do what you need to do. So 1, 2, and 3, that is something that I have been doing lately for a lot of my PowerShell stuff, and it's pretty cool. Now that we already installed it, but let's say hypothetically it wasn't installed, it will install. So the next thing that we need to do, now that our import Excel module is installed, we need to import it, because we need to use it. So we're going to do the import module, and let's do import Excel, and I'm just gonna run it. We should see the progress bar. Come on, there we go. No progress bar, but no errors, so it has been imported to this session. So let's hit enter a couple of times, and number seven, I'm going to go to our previous PowerShell. And I'm going to copy these two right here. Boom. We're going to use these. We're going to take advantage of these. Let's copy this. Let's go back into here, and we're going to do a Control V. So I'm just going to take advantage of these two attributes, these two variables that we declared over here in this PowerShell. Okay. Once we do that, let's hit enter a couple of times. We are going to create an array to hold our members. So to do that, we're going to do a $, and let's call it member list. And from here, we're going to do equal, and we're going to do at open and close parentheses. So we just created an array to hold our members. And I'm going to hit enter a couple times. I'm gonna scroll a little bit down so I get a little bit of space. Hopefully you guys are able to see and hear me. And if you are, if you're here at the chat, if you're here watching me, shoot me a message. Let me know where you're from. Let me know that you are able to hear me, and that'd be cool. And I will give you a shout out on the next live stream. All right, so we created our array. Let's create our for each. We're gonna create a for each loop. And it would be the same thing like we did before. So we created member, and it actually has member in. So this is basically the same for each that we used before. So we're going to take everyone from this variable and drop it into member, which we did over in the last session over here. But we're going to expand this a little bit. We're going to close the parentheses. We're going to open up a wiggly bracket. I'm going to hit enter a couple times, and I'm going to close the wiggly brackets because I don't like this. This freaks me out sometimes. I don't like that little that red mark. It's basically telling you that it's missing the closing wiggly bracket. So if I just do the wiggly bracket now, it disappears. It just bothers me a bit. I'm going to hit enter for line 14. We're going to hit the tab, and this is where we are going to start grabbing our group members within the for each. So we're going to do the following. We're going to do $, and we are going to call our member list. Now within our member list, we're going to do a plus equal, and a plus equal, we're going to do a open and close bracket. Now within the open and close bracket, we're going to do a PowerShell custom object. So that would be PS custom object. There you go. And outside here, we're going to do an @ we're going to do a wiggly bracket, and the wiggly bracket, it will be name, right? And name is equal to $ member, right? Member. Take advantage of those tooltips because that's awesome. Period. And we're going to do name. Now, one of the cool things is when you start doing the PowerShell custom object, right? It gives you all the attributes that you are able to grab within the Active Directory. That's pretty cool. So we want the name. That's all we want. So let's type in name. You're able to type it, and we're going to close the wiggly bracket. We're going to hit enter here. Hit enter here, and within here we want to write out the members. So we are going to do a write host command. We're going to do $ member, and I love that tooltip. And we're going to do a period, and we're going to do name. Actually, you could do capital N or lowercase n, does not matter. You're still going to get the same name. So now we have our for each. And if you want, right, let's do the following. We already import. Let's run this into memory. Let's run number 9 in memory. Let's do our array. Beautiful. And let's run line 13 to 17, which is this entire thing. If we run it, it's going to produce our members. Yes, awesome. So we have the members. It is time for us to do what? Export it out to our spreadsheet. So let's go minimize ISE. Let's open up the File Explorer. And inside my C drive, not best practice to save stuff in your C drive, but you know what? I have BTNHD _ temp. It's a folder. I'm going to copy this path because I'm going to be needing this path. And I want you guys to take a closer look because I do not have anything in here. Well, I don't have anything in here. I got a lot of stuff in here, but I don't want you guys to think that I'm pulling any tricks. So the spreadsheet, I'm going to call it group members. We don't have anything in here in this folder called group members. So I don't want you to think that behind the scenes, I already did it. And that's the reason why it worked. So inside this folder, we don't have any group members. We don't have a file called group members, which is great. Let me do another copy, because I need that path. Let's open up ISE and let's hit enter a couple times. And on line 19, we are going to start, we're going to define a variable, and let's do $, and output, output file path. Open and close quotations. Inside the quotations, let's paste the path. We're going to give it a \, and now we are going to give the name of our file. So like I said before, we're going to call it group members dot. make sure you give the extension because it won't work properly. XLSX. Boom. All right. Again, we don't have that spreadsheet in there. And it's going to be created for us. So we define the output file path. We're going to hit enter a couple times, and then it's time for us to take the content that we just pulled from these guys up here, right? 7 to 7, line 7 through 17. We pull this information. We need to take that information and import it into our spreadsheet. So on line 21, this is where all the magic happens. So we're going to do $, and $, is going to be member list. I love this. I love when ISE works, you know. And sometimes if the whole tooltip doesn't work, and that's considered intelligence or some crap like that, if you go to edit, just make sure you start IntelliSense. That's what it's called. That's what that is. All right, so we're going to call out member list, because member list is where, you know, that variable is actually holding all the members into. We're going to do pipe it. Let's do a pipe. And now from here, we're going to actually start using one of the modules within our import Excel module that we installed, as well as import it into the session. So the command would be export, and it would be Excel. I hit the tab key to autocomplete, right? Space, we're going to use a switch called path. And the path, we already defined it, which was line 19. So we're going to do $ output path. Boom. I did the tab to autocomplete it. Gotta love those autocompletes. There's also additional switches that you are able to use with this export Excel command. One of the switches that I like to use would be auto size. Another one that you're able to do, this is, you're getting really fancy with it, you're able to actually provide a title. So within the title, we're going to do an open and close quotation. Inside the quotations, let's do group members. You're able to do whatever you want. Sometimes I forget how to spell members. Let's do AD group members. Okay, hit space, and you're able to get even fancier within this particular module. And another switch that I like to use is worksheet name, and that would be the tab at the very bottom of the columns and cells. You're able to give that a name. So let's do AD members. Boom, and close the quotations. Awesome. It's a long one. Awesome. Now, and we could run it like this way, or if you want, I mean, technically you don't need to do one by one liners like I've been doing so far with a lot of these PowerShell videos. I've been running everything one by one. You are able to write everything in one shot. So that's what I'm going to do today. But I also like to add an additional thing. When I select a bunch of codes within a line of codes within PowerShell, I like to have like a write host at the end that basically says, hey, we're done. So let's do write host, open and close quotations. Inside here, we're going to do group members have been exported to, and within here you're able to do a $ and call out whatever variable you want. I'm going to call out output. And when you are within open and close quotations, you're not going to get the tooltip. So just make sure you type in that variable properly. Done. That's it. So what we're going to do is highlight 7 all the way to line 23. I don't really need to run 7 and 9 or 11 because that's already part of memory. But, you know, for the hell of it, let's just select all this stuff. Again, it is going to create group members .xlsx file for us, which would be a spreadsheet. I'm going to open up the file explorer again. I don't want you guys to think like, hey, Bernard, it worked because you already had the spreadsheet in there. No, I don't have the spreadsheet in there. I'm going to refresh a couple of times for you. I just don't have show more options. I hate freaking Windows 11. Let's refresh. don't have it in there. Let's minimize this. Boom. We selected all of our codes. Let's click. Boom. Awesome. 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 That's it. Group members have been exported. Yeah. That's it. We're done. That's it. So let's minimize this. Let's open up our File Explorer. And there goes our Excel sheet that we just created. I'm over here glancing because I got to make sure I have no drop frames. So there goes our spreadsheet. 7/19, which is today's date. 12:44, which is about a minute ago. Yeah, cool. Let's right click on it. You are able to double click on it, but I like right clicking stuff. Open, and hopefully it's gonna open it up for us. Awesome. Beautiful. Okay, get out of our face. So look at this. Let's zoom in. Boom. AD group members, which was basically the switch that we use for the export Excel, and that will be the title. We gave it AD group members. And if you look at the very bottom, we also gave the switch of worksheet name, and we gave it the worksheet name, which would be AD members. You're able to make all kinds of modifications, and that's it. Boom, we're done. Awesome. Yay. But imagine the security group had like about 1,000, 2,000 members. You have them all here. Done. Plain and simple. Good to go. I mean, you are able to get even fancier with the exporting. If you want, you are able to create a first name, last name kind of situation and put all the last names here. That gets more complicated. But this is one of those things that is always constantly asked of me. Hey Bernardo, who can you give me a list of X, Y, and Z lists? I just, you know, boom, 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 and do a spreadsheet and join the spreadsheets, and then we're good to go. And that's it for today's episode. Hopefully you guys enjoy episode 81. Yeah, that's about it. I don't know. I will provide the notes, all the commands that I've used on today's video. I'm gonna place it at the GitHub. I will put a link at the bottom at the comment section, and also pin the comment so you guys can get a copy of that, play around with it. If you make any type of modifications and adjust anything to produce something different, hey, let me know. I would love to see what you guys produce in your lab or at your 9-to-5 job. And that's it. Hopefully you guys enjoy, and I catch you guys later. Peace out, and stay warm and stay hydrated because it is getting hot. All right, so as always, I always forget how to. Are we done? Done? No, now we're done. Later.